Okay, yeah. Okay, can we talk about the egg for a second? Was that an egg? Hey guys, so today we're doing episode 2 book talk of Punk 75. I'm really excited.
Hey guys, so in today's video we are doing episode 2 of Punk 57. So Ethan and I have finished the book. I don't know if I said this, but I think often. and we were going to do 4 videos for this book, but now we're only doing 2 because we finished it.
I was gonna say because it's 3/4 the quality.
At the end of the video, we'll do like our overall thoughts and like our ratings. So if you want to skip to that, go ahead. And now we're just gonna ramble on about this book.
This will take a while.
So, what would you like to say about this book so far?
Bad.
So what made it bad?
I don't know. It just felt like the entire 6 chapters that we talked about last time took us so long to talk about because that was the entire book, and then the rest of the book was an excuse for porn. Like the story was just, the story felt like no longer the point of the book.
That's true. I don't know. I feel like maybe I didn't like it because it was like a high school story, but I didn't feel like it was really about the relationship, you know? I feel like it was about the people growing as their own type of people. It wasn't really about them growing together, you know?
I don't think that's what it was about at all. I think that it was about 2 kids who have sex in the library.
They didn't have sex in the library.
You're right. They did some touching in the library. Anyway, it's about 2 kids who have sex.
What?
That's it.
No, what was like your problem with it?
It just felt like, okay, the entire first 6 chapters set up all these characters that I already didn't like, gave me no reason to like either of the main characters, which she said would be a problem. But I don't like them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then in chapter 7, it's just like, man, this guy sucks. I'm gonna let him touch me in the library. And then that was the rest of the book. The rest of the book ended at chapter 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, definitely the beginning of the book was definitely better than the end of the book. I feel like, no, I don't like how mean he was to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was supposed to like blossom into a great relationship.
Well, I kind of liked how she was like, oh, the whole mean thing will turn into, like, their kink. And it's like, okay, that makes sense for writing porn. But, like, everything about, like, her finding out that he's Misha was, like, a footnote in a history textbook. And, like, her meeting his dad was supposed to be this big thing, and it ended up not being this, like, it was supposed to give like tension, like, oh, she's right there, she's right at the doorstep, she could actually see that he's in all the pictures with his dad, and then she's like, nah, I got like things to do, so
yeah, and she didn't like say who she was or anything.
Yeah, I know, which she talks about later, being like, I could have even found out earlier, and I was like, yeah, you could have. That's it.
No, so that part where Misha comes home and he's like cleaning up after his dad, and his dad's lying there sleeping. I thought his dad was gonna be dead.
Okay, that was kind of funny. When he went home, I kind of liked that part because it was like, oh, this is the part of the story that I actually kind of cared about, was that Annie's dead, and this relationship with his father is like broken because they don't know how to talk to each other anymore because his sister's dead. But then he's just like, so I put the blanket on him and I left, and tomorrow I'll come back and bring him groceries. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And then he's just like, but then Dane shows up at my house, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah! I don't know, that was so weird. I feel like that part of the book was really weird.
They just got rid of the entire, like, subplot with his dad, and then later it just fixes itself.
That's true, they never really came back to it.
They came back to it in, like, I think, like, a 2-page thing where he's just like, I talked to my dad. No, it was literally when his dad was asleep. He was talking to him out loud, but his dad couldn't hear. It's like, just wake him up. All the things you're saying are super nice. Tell them to him, and then move to Penticton. Like,
no, I don't know. I feel like it was kind of weirdly put together. I just want to say, like, I was super excited for this book, because Chandler Ainsley loves this book and she recommends like good books. And this is her favorite book, one of her favorite books, and I was so disappointed in it.
I didn't expect it to be great. In fact, I expected it to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
But after reading the first 6 chapters, I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was. Like, I don't like to be mean to mediums that I don't like. Like, okay, on Goodreads, I rated the book 2 stars. I wanted to rate it 1 star, but I thought that would be very biased of me because I don't like these books anyway. Like, if I read probably Penelope Douglas's best book, I would probably still hate it. But I rated it 2 stars because I thought that was fair.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect to like the book. I just expected it to not be horrible.
I don't know. It was kind of like...
I just opened my water and then didn't drink it. I'm gonna drink my water now. I'm thirsty.
I don't know. I feel like the book was like... It was lacking...
I told you that was gonna happen.
I feel like the book was like really lacking substance. Like it was a very shallow book.
Yeah, and it didn't need to be.
You know, yeah, it could have been really good, but the fact that like... So, we knew that our main character was damaged. Ryan was damaged. I mean, Misha was too. But
Yeah.
Ryan, we kind of followed her more through the book, like, more
Yeah.
of her thoughts. But, I don't know, she just kept on, like, self-sabotaging herself, and I just didn't really... Like, I liked her at the beginning, because I was like, you know, most teenagers are depressed, and they kind of act, like, a little bit different, just because they want to fit in, because that's what kids want to do. But then I was like, on through the book, she just kept on, like... contradicting herself,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to punch her. And the fact that, like, especially with the Manny situation, because he was like the main guy that everyone bullied,
Yeah.
she just didn't say anything
I
at
know.
all.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
So annoying. And it's just because I know that if I was in that situation, I would have said something.
Yeah.
So I like couldn't relate to her. You know?
Yeah.
You couldn't relate to her either.
Believe it or not, I didn't relate to the teenage girl in this book. No, I just thought... Actually, the Manny thing was the only part about the book that I liked. Toward the end.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it that much just because it felt really cliche teen romance. Oh, the things in the end worked out. It felt like I was reading an Archie comic at that part.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when she finds out that Manny's been, like, seriously harming himself over all of this and, like, going home and, like, doing drugs constantly just so he can feel numb. And then she's like, oh, dude, it's gonna get better. And then her friends are like, yeah, screw that Trey guy. We're gonna hang out with Manny now.
Yeah, I thought
and then
that was
Manny
kinda
comes...
weird.
I mean, it was kind of odd, but I was like, okay, it's a little cliche. But, you know, that's a nice little ending.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it maybe shouldn't have been as much of a... I guess it was a pretty good subplot. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, it just felt
What
like...
was the subplot? She was punk.
The
Oh, we
entire
found out
book
she
was a
was punk.
subplot.
Yes, we found out. I'm kind of disappointed that she didn't, like, expose herself. I thought, like, when she was going back at prom night that she was going to say that it was her.
I was okay with the way that she revealed that she was punk, like how he went into the physics room. No, well, she didn't reveal it. He found out.
Oh,
But,
like earlier
remember,
in the book.
Yeah, because remember, Misha, like, is running from these
The
security guards. And he opens up the room to the door of the physics room, and he's like, "What? You have spray paint?"
And,
And she's just like, "Dang it!" And like, I thought that was okay, and then it was just like, "Okay, we solved punk. We can stop talking about it now."
Yeah.
Like,
after that
every
happened,
single-
it was just like, come on.
I think that the entire book was Penelope Douglas setting up a bunch of things, and then at around the 120 page mark, she realized that she needed to end all of those things. And she was like, damn it, I'm
Let's
really
just stop
bored
talking
of writing
about it."
this book. I'm gonna just finish all of them in like 3 chapters.
I don't know. I feel like that's the thing is like I like a slow burn romance, right? Because then you get to know the characters better. And I guess you could consider this like a slow burn because they didn't really get together. But that's the thing is they didn't really get together, period.
Yeah.
It was just like they found out who each other were. 2 days later they're like, I love you. And then that was the end. I feel like they were never together, you know what I mean?
See, okay, what was that Penelope Douglas book that you read to me that was also basically porn?
Birthday Girl.
Birthday Girl. Okay.
That was better than this book. I like Birthday Girl. I gave it 4 stars. I think.
See, that one is the book that kind of made me actually believe, Maddie, that I was gonna enjoy doing this.
Mhm.
I did enjoy doing it. I just didn't enjoy the book. But
You like the
because Maddie was
experience.
reading it out loud and really animated, and she had different voices for characters, and it was really fun. But that whole thing was like, there was constant stupid plot twists. It felt like the book knew it was dumb.
What, Birthday
And,
Girl?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It felt like the book knew it was stupid and it wasn't taking itself seriously. How, like, they'd, like, drive home and then she goes to change, but she locks the door behind her and then starts FaceTiming him. And she's doing some things, let's just say, I think she has a thing for desks. But,
That part was so weird. That was very bold.
But, like...
That was very bold, and I read Credence, which
Yeah.
is way, like...
It just felt like Birthday Girl didn't take itself seriously, so I could listen to it and go, okay, this book knows it's trash, and I can just, like, react to all of these things, like, she slapped him on the face, and I'd be like, oh, she bad!
That's the
With
thing
like...
that happens... Sorry, I don't mean to
No, go
interrupt,
ahead.
but that's the thing that happens in all these romances, is the girls just literally beat up these guys, and I'm like, it's like...
Female empowerment!
I guess, like, what?
Yeah,
I don't know. And then they just take it?
I don't know. It's weird. I think...
Who just decides that they're, like, in a fight and just to, like, slap somebody in the face?
They take it because
They want
they're
it.
horny.
So let's talk, what did you like about this book? It can be super trivial or something. Or deep.
I liked Manny's character, actually. Just because
You
that
kinda
felt
liked
like
Tom?
what a subplot was actually supposed to be.
Yeah.
How, like, this whole book was going on and we were just not paying attention to the fact that Manny is, like, seriously going through issues. But,
Yeah.
honestly, that's kind of... That's a part that I liked, and how JD was like, yeah, I've been hanging out with that Trey guy for too long. It's time I kick with the cool
See,
kids.
I thought that was weird. 10? Like,
Mhm.
joining their friend group, I understand, because 10 and,
Yeah, because 10's a little...
what's her
wacky.
name? Ryan?
Ryan.
10 and Ryan were, like, good friends.
Yeah.
But then JD comes, but JD was friends with Trey, who was an ass. How did you like the fact that the principal was Misha's mom?
Okay, that was like... I feel like something we should have been talking about the entire book. That part was okay because...
No, because that was one of the subplots, is the reason that he came to
I know, because... but like...
Falcon Well? Or is that
Yeah,
where he
Falcon...
lived?
No, he lived in Thunder
In
Bay.
Thunder Bay.
But, no, that part was actually okay.
I was
I just feel
like, like real life, like sitting in my bed
Yeah.
going,
See, I wasn't like, I was just like, oh, she's his mom. But, like, no, I kind of like that part, except it just felt like they weren't building up to it as much as they could have.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
really?
okay,
I thought that it was
I
built
suppose
up.
they could, I mean, it just felt like there was a lot of porn going on in between them talking
There
about it.
wasn't! They literally had sex like twice.
No.
Like twice.
No.
3 times.
It was
Like 3
4.
times. No.
It was like, if you count the library.
But that I didn't
But
count.
that wasn't penetration.
That's why I didn't count it. What about Little Egg?
Little egg.
Vibrating egg.
Okay, yeah. Okay, can we talk about the egg for a second? Was that an egg? Like,
No,
was it
not
just
like
like
a
a
real
fully egg-shaped thing?
I think so.
It's just like... it seems
But the shape of an egg is like...
It's just weird. That's my problem. Okay. Like,
And
sure,
it was
it's
on the
whatever.
floor, wasn't it? She like tossed it on the, or he tossed it on the floor or something.
After she was done with it, though. Like, she...
No, but
okay.
she wasn't done because then she had some... Oh yeah, you're right.
No,
you're
yeah,
right.
she had it in her bed, and he just, like, pulled up her cover, and she was like, what are you doing naked? And she was like, what are you doing in my fucking house? So-
Right? No, that's so true.
No, but, like...
He always goes into her house. It's so
I know, but the
weird.
funny thing is she's like, how did you get in here? And he's like, the same thing as I did last time. I've been breaking into your house a significant amount recently. And then the last time he broke into her house, he climbed a ladder and just, like, went in her window.
Yeah!
Why didn't he just do that before?
Well,
Like,
no,
going through
because-
the front door seems risky.
No, but it was the back door. He went... I'm pretty sure it was the back door, the flower pot at
No,
the back
it was
door.
the front door, because the first time he walked through the front door, remember?
And this is why you have codes to get into your house. So I wanted to talk about the fact that... So, what's her name? Ryan? Ryan found out about Misha, that Misha was Misha. And she was literally mad at him for one night.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That was so stupid. That was so dumb. Like, the night before, she's like sitting there, she's like crying into her hands because she feels like she's been betrayed and lied to. This guy that she's been getting pretty with has
and
like just
someone who she was friends with for 7 years.
Yeah, and has like completely avoided her, and he hasn't even told her that like my sister was dead and I was going through a really hard time. It was really hard for me to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like broken because of it. And then the next day she's like,
you know what?
I saw a dick.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And
Yeah.
okay, so the thing that happened in the like police office parking lot.
Yeah,
The fact, so they did a little nasty in her car, right?
they did.
But earlier in the book, it said that her Jeep was one of the Jeeps that like didn't have a roof. It was one with just the roll bars.
Yeah.
So
But
they're just out in the open.
they weren't in the Jeep, they were in the truck. Remember the truck has like illegally tinted windows?
No, that was at the drive-in. They were in the
So
truck.
the next time they just did it in the Jeep?
Yeah, because remember he got arrested at the party,
Yeah.
and then he went in the cop car to the police place.
Yes.
So he didn't have a truck, but Ryan drove there in her Jeep
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't have like a cover. It only has the roll bars on it. So it's open.
Did I even read this book? No, I thought it was in their truck, I guess, because I thought his
it was,
cousin Will must have brought the truck.
no, Will.
It used to be Will's truck, though.
I thought it used to be Will's friend's truck.
No, it used to be his truck, and then he...
Okay, what else do you want to talk about the book?
Okay, he was really mad that she gave the janitor rubbing alcohol to help get rid of the spray
That's
paint.
nail polish remover.
The nail polish remover,
Yeah.
sorry.
What were you saying about the nail polish remover?
Oh, I just thought it was stupid that, like, he was really mad at her for being fake and all of this, but then he's like, and the fact that she gave the janitor nail polish remover, and I was like, what? Why is, what? What? Why is he mad about that? That was one very small thing that actually didn't make sense. I don't know why he would be mad about that. It's like, hey, janitor, catch. And he's like, thanks, man. That's what happened. That's all that happened.
I know, I don't know. I feel like the main characters, they were like kind of really weird.
Okay, wait. Security guards at a school.
Mm-hmm.
Where is this based again? Like in... I don't know, is this like in the... This is in the States.
Must be.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about, off camera, we talked about how they constantly mention names of songs and people who wrote them.
I mentioned that in Ethan in the last video. If you remember the last video, if you watched the whole thing. Ethan said that didn't bother him, but now that I brought it up... Yes, you said it didn't really bother you that much. You said it was fine.
No,
and
at first I said it bothered me because I was like, oh, it sucks because it gets rid of the immersion and I feel like they're trying to speak at me.
Talk.
And it's like...
Oh.
It's stupid relatable and like, but I was like, I guess they have to get away like across the fact that they're listening to a punk song.
So
or
it didn't
something like that.
absolutely annoy you at first.
It didn't at first because it only happened like once or twice. Problem is the rest of the book it happens about a lot, and like the last line of the book, or at least on the last page, actually says that. It's like, and then earlier he's like mad at her, so it's like bad girlfriend played in my car.
Yeah. When I got into my car, bad girlfriend was playing.
And then she's like sitting there and she's like at school writing something and she's like, God, I was so mad at Mason. And then she's like, Divorce by so-and-so country singer was playing in my head. It's like,
I don't remember.
What is the point of that? It's like in a movie, a song like that might play in the background so you go, oh, haha,
Well,
this is what it's kind of about.
This
They're
isn't
playing
a
to the
movie.
plot. But like this isn't a movie, so you actually have to, in words, describe to the person that's what's going on, but it just feels like she's writing it like it's a crappy teen movie. Like,
because it is a teen book.
I know, it just like, it completely removes me from the very little amount of immersion I already have in the story when she's like, the song Bad Girlfriend is playing in the car.
This is off the subject, but how'd you like picture Manny?
Oh, Manny?
Yeah. How'd you like imagine he looked like?
Okay, he sort of looks like... I'm trying to explain it without saying specific people in my life that he looks like. No, I thought he looked kind of short, they said later in the book that he looked really goth. I don't know if they said that earlier.
Yeah, it was at the beginning.
Okay. He looked goth, so I kind of pictured like short, kind of greasy black hair. Not, well, I guess not greasy, but I didn't picture like the like early 2000s like wavy thing across his face, like Justin Bieber look. I pictured like kind of just like greasy, a little bit spiked greasy hair, black, greasy. How many times I'm gonna say that word? And I don't know. I just pictured him wearing like black, like skinny jeans and stuff like that. And kind of, they said he had one of those
stretched ears.
Yeah, the stretched ears. So I didn't picture that until after it was
at the end.
Removed from his head. No, I pretty much pictured him exactly like that. Just kind of short, really skinny, and always kind of hunched over and trying not to make eye contact with people.
Yeah, that's kind of how I imagine him. Is like short, super skinny, wearing all like black clothes.
Yeah.
With one of those chains that comes out the pocket, and like a one of the, not a tank top, but like I guess it is a tank top, like just with thick like straps.
Yeah.
And with a big head. Like a big,
why did I also picture
big like rectangle head?
It's because he's small and skinny, so like his head is
well,
like a normal.
Maybe.
He could be. Listen, I'm just saying.
Is that us like stereotyping every like emo person?
No, it's us stereotyping the character that was described the exact way.
No, but he wasn't described skinny or short or anything. I just always imagined him like that.
Well, when they're lined up and everything like that, and he's like, they're all staring at us, and she's like, "It's because you have a better ass than me." I thought that was really funny.
And then I pictured him like.
No, I pictured him and he was like kind of like giggling, like leaning back. He was like, "Oh, like that's really funny, but I don't know if I can trust this person because she was a bitch to me earlier."
Only one of your sleeves has a white thing.
Can you tell she reads like 8 books a week?
Just because I read doesn't mean I know how to live a life.
Just because I read doesn't know how I can like, there's a life on the other side.
Oh goodness.
The epilogue.
Okay, the epilogue. So Ethan, like we said, Ethan doesn't read romances, but in almost all romance books, the epilogue is like years later when they've had children. So Ethan, what do you think about the epilogue?
It was so dumb. It was so dumb. Like, okay, I get that it's really cliche and it had to have like a 5 years later they're in this situation, but like the whole like in 5 years he is now making serious money playing music.
Yeah, and super
and
famous.
is put into. I recently got accepted into university for jazz studies. I'm probably not going to make very much money in my life, and I'm okay with that. I've accepted that, unless I get a job in something else and use music as my side thing. Because there's just not jobs in music anymore. If you want to get a job as a producer, good luck, because a lot of bands produce their own music nowadays because it's all online and easy to learn. If you want to get a job at a studio, those jobs, unfortunately, don't exist because it's so easy to run a studio on your own.
Also remember, I know he didn't want to connect to his family, but his family was really, like, well-known.
Yeah, well,
and rich.
I'm going to be honest, I think the reason all of that stuff kind of came easier to Penelope Douglas when she was writing it is because she's not our age, and she's not going into all of this stuff as a new person, like a teenage sponge trying to learn it. I guess so, yeah. But, like, it's the same way as she, like, talks about Facebook all the time, and it's like, no one uses Facebook. But, like, at the same time, she's talking about how Facebook and all of that is popular to them, and all of her song references are, like, mid to late 2000,
like Eminem,
like around 2010. Like,
no one listens to
okay,
Eminem.
the last one was an Eminem song. The last one she was like, it's like that Eminem song, where I can't remember the lyric. It's his most famous song. But
they mention Eminem songs all the time, like so often.
Yeah, I don't know. That was so dumb that they meant. They were just like, oh yeah, it was like you gotta lose yourself in the moment, and it's like, I actually like a lot of Eminem's music. I don't like that song because I think the lyrics are pretty stupid. For some parts. That's just me.
Okay, so what I asked Ethan off camera is how...
What? I gotta say it like this too now. It's bugging me.
So there's, in the book, because Misha's into music, his lyrics are on there, and...
Yeah.
Like, I asked him how he read them. He didn't really give me an answer. Or you said you didn't even read them.
Well, for a bit, I was reading them, because I was like, oh, I want to kind of get an in on what kind of music he's writing. But after a while, I was like, he's writing pop punk music or like grungier music, and it's his age, my age, like angsty writing. But honestly, since I'm reading it in a book, there's no feeling I could put behind the words. I can just read it, and he's like, I told you 1,000 times, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And it's like...
So that's how you imagined it?
Well, yeah, I just imagined it really like grungy, kind of... I don't want to say Nirvana, because Nirvana's a good band.
Was it the last part of the epilogue?
Yeah, it was at the end of the epilogue when she's like straddling him again.
In the bath. Under the shower.
Oh yeah, they're in the shower, and then at the end he like pushes her face in, and she's like... No, I thought
Eminem, Lose Yourself. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. I just went through all that word.
No, but wait, can I read what it says again? Okay. This is the stupidest part of the entire book, and you can quote me on that, because people are going to quote me on this.
Yes,
their source of information.
You're so famous, just like Misha.
Exactly. But the part where it's like, but his words remind me of our favorite rapper, and I pull back, unable to resist teasing him. Hey, only one shot. Just like Eminem's Lose Yourself. Like...
She said that out loud?
Yes, that's in the dialogue. Like, in the dialogue, she says, hey, only one shot. Just like Eminem's Lose Yourself, released on Atlantic Records in 2000-something. I don't actually know that. Don't quote me on that.
But we're quoting you on your other thing.
I gotta not do that. No,
I don't think I've ever heard that song.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
You have. You don't know that you have, but you have. Like, this is one of those songs that you actually have heard.
The only Eminem song I can think of is the one that's... What's it called?
I know we're recording, but this can't even go in the video.
That one, the Round the Outside?
That's actually a good... That's like back when he was getting pretty popular with Slim Shady stuff.
Shay sings it all the time, so...
Yeah, well, he's a really easy rapper to get into.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah, it's this song.
I think everyone's heard that song.
But, like, I don't even... It's probably just because it's been played a lot. I don't even like the song. And I partly because I don't like the lyrics that much. I think they're really cheesy. But that's probably why it got really popular, because they're easy to remember. And that's how music works, and that's why he's famous.
I guess, what are your final thoughts on the book? Like, just to, like, wrap it up.
I really did not like the book, because it felt like most of the subplots and main plot even was just a setup for them to have intercourse. And that was about it. It felt like a really shallow book.
I was just gonna say that. And like the characters. The characters were really like one-dimensional, you know? Yeah,
and every single conflict they had was either useless or immediately resolved. Like how she was mad at him, and then the next day they had sex.
She was like, fine.
And every time after they have sex, it's like, and then he didn't say anything to me for 3 days. Or the next time was like, and then he didn't talk to me for a week. I needed his touch. It's like, if you want to make it feel like she's been waiting for it for so long, write some stuff in between that makes it drag out longer. Like a Stephen King book. That's why they're 1,000 pages long.
Okay, so my final thoughts. Yeah, the book was pretty much the same as Ethan. The book was really shallow. I've read better Penelope
Douglas. The book was
Douglas.
pretty much the same as me. The book was shallow. Are you saying it was shallow?
No.
English.
The book was not my favorite. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads.
Because she's nice.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like the worst book I've ever read, but it wasn't like good. You know?
This book wasn't not the worst book I've ever read.
I don't know. I feel like I didn't like it that much.
I did not like the book very much.
It didn't feel... The fact that, like, it took us, 2 or 3 weeks to read? And I read it in, 3 sittings.
I read it all last night.
Yeah.
This morning.
But
from chapter 6.
But even that, it didn't feel like it was, a book. Does that make sense? It didn't really feel like it had anything because it was so lacking in substance. It felt like a
draft for a book. Like, it felt like genuinely something that you'd give to your editor, or, just to your husband and be like, hey, can you read through this and tell me if you like it so I can flesh it out? But, it just felt like all of the subplots were immediately resolved, and they weren't even that complicated in the first place. and like everything it had going for it at the beginning, how like them running through like the place where the cove where Misha lives without knowing that he lives there, and they're like running around and it's like kind of spooky and they're dumb. It's like, oh, it feels like a teen thing, like they're young and dumb and it's a horror movie, but like all of that went away after they started having sex every chapter.
No, it wasn't even every chapter. Anyway,
I read Game of Thrones and that was a lot of sex.
I'm just really disappointed that was like your first real like Penelope Douglas book, you know?
I'm disappointed I spent as much time as I did reading this
You didn't
book.
spend that much time reading it.
No, I didn't, but it was time I could have been doing other things.
Like what?
Like
your homework?
playing video games.
No, yeah, I'm really disappointed that was like, because I hadn't read it, so I didn't know what we were getting into.
Yeah, I suppose.
So maybe if I would like to get you to read something that I have read already, that I knew that you would maybe like more than you'd like this one.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But that's okay, because my really awesome cousin got me
Yes, I got him
iRobot for my birthday.
iRobot, yeah.
Because I really like sci-fi and fantasy, but I'm fake because I've never read this series. I haven't read Foundation or anything like that. All of my exposure to Isaac Asimov has been short stories.
From school?
Literally from school. But I liked all of them, even though I had to do projects on them. So I'm super excited to read that book.
Yes, and that's gonna be our next season of Book Talk. Yeah. We're gonna switch
Mediums.
every season.
Not mediums. We're still reading books. Today we are going to read fan fiction.
50 Shades of Grey was a fan fiction, and it wasn't even called 50 Shades of Grey. And
Was it?
the 3 books used to be like 1 book. See, that's a book that we could read that I know. Season 3 of Book Talk. Can't believe that'll be so much fun. I actually have two of the first book. Oh
I
wait,
don't want to read that.
I'd have to go steal it from my sister.
At least that book's got more whipping.
True that. True that. IGGY. Sorry. I think about that too much. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too like.
To what? Why are you looking at me?
It is large.
It is
Okay,
actually quite
Misha.
large.
Manny. So, so that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And do you have any more input?
Bad.
Yes, bad. But not terrible, but like not the best. Anyway.
If I wrote a review for this book, it would be... It was a book.